Well, afternoon, everybody. It gives me great pleasure now to have a bit of a chat with Oz Active CEO Barrie Elvish and welcome him to the conversation. We're having a chat about Barry's session. He's graciously offered his time to give his opinions and views on the ageing demographic. Barry's session is called Aging Disgracefully. Now, I had a bit of a chuckle when I heard that, but let's jump into a couple of things. Firstly, Barrie, thanks for joining me. The first thing I'd like to ask you is why the name of that session?
Well, Ken, as you can see, and as the people who attend the summit will see as well, I'm in the age cohort that needs to either age gracefully or disgracefully. My preference is to age disgracefully because I think life is short when you get past the tipping point. So I'm really looking forward to the summit. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait to hear experts in the field. I'm going to be sharing in my session some data and statistics that I've been able to drag out about my generation and others that are going to be in my generation soon. So that'll take up about half my time. Then I want to spend about half the second half just talking about, I guess, my experiences as a person who is in the second or the later stages of their life and how my attitude towards that stage and how I intend enjoying it, what my plans are going to be.
It's interesting that you say that, live life to the max, and we know that we should do that, and centenarians actually say that the one regret is, what if? I don't want to be a what if. I've got to change everything. How have you found that our industry in general has related to the ageing demographic? Because that's a bit of a bone of contention and an interesting thought, where we seem to feel that we're doing a lot for the active aging, but it's not really happening. What are your views from a first person hand?
Okay, so I can speak from my own personal experience on this one, Ken. I think there's been a bit of lip service done, to be quite honest, to our generation, my generation. There are a couple of very good providers in the field who really focus on my generation, but generally speaking, I think we are the forgotten generation. And I think that's really quite unfortunate in many ways. My generation has got the time, particularly when we've retired. My generation, we are the lucky generation, so we've got the money. And also, for those of us who still want to prove we've still got it and want to age disgracefully, we've got a huge incentive to prove we've still got it. So you put those three things together, that is a really good, I think, market for our sector. But unfortunately, I think we've slipped through the net to some degree.
Do you think that, again, our industry misses the opportunity for this, because it's a great area, also a very loyal area, because once you have these clients, you don't have to go out chasing more clients.
Exactly. And look, I view my gym that I go to now is very much, I worked for some time in Victorian regional areas, and I was very conscious of the things called men's sheds, which I'm sure a lot of people know about. Men's sheds, the equivalent of a men's shed, I think, in the metropolitan area in cities is actually the gym. And so I go to the gym to actually get that social cohesion, get interaction, to be with other people of my age, to egg each other on, obviously, but also just to share experiences, share thoughts. A lot of us are grandparents. A lot of us have got concerns about where the world currently is and where it might be going. And it's a good opportunity to not just exercise the body, but to exercise the mind as well. And that's critical, I think, as we get older, because it's people no longer, I believe, go to the gym to look good. You can see from me, it doesn't work anyway, if that was the case. I think we go to the gym to actually feel good. And so the gym is now, for me, a means to an end. And I think the services that don't understand that and focus still on the transactional basis of the gym, where you pay your money, you come in, you do your exercise, you go out. Look, there's always going to be a market for those, but that's not going to appeal to my generation.
So community and belonging is the sense that the ageing demographic primarily look at. What would be the one thing that you would say that gyms need to get better at and doing to make it more approachable for the ageing demographic?
Well, I think they need to be welcoming to us. I think they need to make sure that we do actually go through pre-exercise screening tools. I mean, I've experienced a number of times myself where that hasn't happened when I've joined new gyms, and I just shake my head. I don't understand how they can possibly do that from a litigation point of view. putting a 20-year-old young male or whatever with me as an older person and telling me to go hard, go hard, go hard is going to pretty well turn me off pretty quickly. So they need to understand the context. They need to understand my physical state of being at the moment, where I want to be, where I currently am, and my, I guess, objectives for exercising. As I say, the exercising is not just to do the strength training, resistance training. That's important. I clearly acknowledge that. And I guess that's the main reason I go. But it's to understand I'm going there looking for something beyond just a piece of equipment. It's actually got to be that community. And you just, I guess, floated that very well, Ken. One of the gyms I went to in regional Victoria had a fantastic community, and particularly of my age cohort, we had people in there from 14 years of age up to 90 years of age. We had people with disability in there. We used to have a Friday morning breakfast, which was put on by the facility. It was very basic, just a coffee and a bun and stuff like that. But they got involved in doing fundraising in the community as well. One of my friends down there did Kokoda, and I've had the pleasure, well, I won't say pleasure, I've done Kokoda myself a few years ago. So we sort of talked about what sort of exercises he should be doing, what he could expect. And so you just had that. And then we all got together to help raise funds, because he was actually doing it to raise funds for a community project in that local community. That, to me, is what a gym should be. It should be the cement that brings us all together, holds us together, and gives us the reason to come back. Now, a gym, and I use that term loosely, but yoga, Pilates, doesn't really matter. An inside exercise facility needs to look beyond just that pure transactional, because they will lose my generation as quickly as night follows day.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much for your personal insight and also your overview of the industry and things that we can do and how we have to create that community. And that's what we're all about at the summit. And looking forward to hearing more in your session about aging disgracefully and your personal experiences, both from an industry perspective and from your own. Thanks for your time. And you can look forward to Barry's session, Aging Disgracefully, at the Healthy Aging Summit, 31st of May in Brisbane. Please join us there. Thanks.
Looking forward to it, Ken. Really looking forward to it. And I promise, I really hope not to upset people in that last session and cause them to walk out. I hope I leave them with some things to think about, though.